This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so we'll start the meeting, and now Ron will do the prayer thing.
Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that you would look after everybody who is struggling this time of year, and that you would keep the village running smoothly and honoring. I just ask that the village would look at us as leaders, and they would be able to come to us openly. That's just your holy, precious name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, for some reason, the thing is not working right tonight, so I can't mute anybody. So it might be an interesting meeting.
I think we can reach
Watch my P's and
ourselves.
Q's.
So, first thing is public comment. I don't have any public on here, actually. No, that's. Let's see, next thing, whoops. All my stuff. Yeah, we'll do department head reports. Robin, what do you got?
Well, first I want to thank our crew. I mean, they went above and beyond. I had members walking to the station to try and get the calls. And as bad as it was, we only dropped 2 that I know of during that storm itself. Everybody took turns coming out as best they could, and they did an awesome job. Megan Horton walked from her house all the way down to the station, but other than that, the road crews were awesome. Everybody was so helpful in getting us into scenes that we needed to get into, and just greatly appreciate everything everybody did. But other than that, you know, we have the usual maintenance going on 3-3 tomorrow, and then 3-2 will go in because it's got an engine light. So we're gonna pop that on, hopefully tomorrow afternoon, and see what the engine light is for. We're thinking it's nothing serious, obviously. So, but we had to try and get time with Al because he's really busy. So.
Okay.
So tomorrow morning we'll get some oil change done.
And I signed the paperwork for the loaner last night.
Okay. Yeah, we had a conference this evening at 5 with the Department of Health on the vaccinations being available for the EMS and fire and like that, and when they plan on doing that, and through who. Well, it'll have to be done probably through the hospital that can maintain the potency of the vaccine itself. So obviously the hospital staff is going to get it first, and then we have to schedule for ourselves as well, and then the follow-up one. And of course, they advise not getting everybody done at the same time because some people become basically symptomatic. And you don't want to have all your crew sick at the same time with the symptoms. So we're going to have to stagger people and get it done.
Okay.
So as soon as we know the details on our schedule, then I'll let everybody know.
Okay. What's the status on the loaner? I know I signed the paperwork yesterday.
Oh, I have not had a chance to talk to Jeff, needless to say, in the last week because of everything that's happened. But
Right.
I know that the final piece, and we're just waiting for it to be, they would have to be coming down from Syracuse. So I will try to get a chance to talk to him tomorrow and see where we're at.
Okay. Yeah, I signed the agreement thing yesterday, so we should be able to get that closed
Okay.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, then of course there's the DMV part, the insurance part, all that stuff.
Right. All right. Anything else?
No.
Anybody have anything for Robin?
Just want to thank you and your crew for going above and beyond. I know it's been a crazy week. So thank you guys. I know how much you guys are worth to the village.
And difficult getting anywhere.
You're welcome, Lisa. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Jeff, you're on.
Everybody's in church?
Well,
Can you hear me tonight?
We can, yeah.
We haven't been doing anything.
Liar. Been talking to me 24/7.
Oh, we know.
I have to check. On the schedule. Please, Ariel, I'll probably look up there, so.
We,
Alrighty.
our guys are out picking snow. Contractors are picking snow. The weather forecast isn't looking too great. Sorry I didn't get my report out. I'll try and email it out to everybody tomorrow. It's run-of-the-mill stuff usually. That's about all I can tell you.
Hey, Jeff, what was I saw a convoy of, I guess it was Department of Transportation trucks along Front Street, stretching down from where the the Foreign Legion, all the way down to almost John Street, the whole length of the whole Front Street down there. This is about
On Front Street?
10 o'clock.
On Front Street?
Yeah, they were all stationed on Front Street. It was like a whole convoy of truck.
That was probably the state doing 17C.
Yeah. When I came back home this morning, I mean, the street was like, it was straight. It was like that little groove in the Death Star that they drive through. It's like it was so straight right down the street on both sides. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Hey, Charles.
yeah, Front Street from the bridge east is the states, so they must have had their snow blower out doing that one.
Yeah, no, but the whole street was lined up. It was like 11 trucks, dump trucks.
Yeah.
Along the whole, like a convoy.
Yeah.
I said, okay, they're out. I was gonna snag a picture, but then one truck broke its ranks and it just messed up my whole visual of it. What was you saying, Rusty?
Yeah, we're waiting for the call-ins from the post 401 of the Foreign Legion.
Yeah. When I left tonight, they were.
I have a question for Jeff.
Say what?
Was that Fran?
That was Fran. Go ahead, Fran.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, I was wondering if we got that ditch filled in up there in the cemetery. The drainage ditch?
No.
Filled with snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope the cemetery is closed off for now.
Right.
Okay.
We got some of it pushed in, but we didn't get a chance to rake it or anything. Kind of looks like it's going to happen in spring.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's not 6-7 feet deep there.
Oh, where we put the manhole in, I don't know if we got it up there to fence it, but if not, once things calm down, we'll be up there to fence that whole thing so nobody gets hurt.
Good. Thank you.
Yep. We got one set of contractors when I left tonight, was doing Talcott Street. I can't remember where the other one. They split their crew into 2 different spots so that they could get more done. And DPW was on Church Street, cleaning Church Street when I left.
Somebody's on Temple right in front of my house now.
Oh, really? Good.
We gave him a list.
Yeah. We gave them a priority list to do.
Of all the trustees' houses?
No. You kidding me? There was like
May
4
end up that way. I don't know.
There was 4 feet of snow on my road for days. Okay, I couldn't go anywhere.
That's because they know you work from home.
That's true. I didn't have anywhere to go. That didn't matter.
DPW has been working every day since the storm, so then we'll continue, and that's all I really have.
You guys been doing great. You worked Wednesday night all night, and then been working every day ever since, so. Can't ask
Yeah,
for
I
much
hope
more.
Yep.
I
Thanks,
hope
Jeff.
the weather,
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
thank you guys. I'll let all the guys know.
You get any
I'm hoping-
more meals from MJ's? They still hooking you up?
No, they did it the one day. That was good enough.
Yeah.
They even fed the contractors.
I still
Like I
haven't
said,
eaten.
the weather report does not look favorable for us. In
No,
case
the rain
anybody
keeps
hasn't-
growing.
It's supposed to be heavy downpours and 50 degrees. That means a lot of snow going to be melting. And
And the last I heard it was up to an inch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
More. So that's a big reason we have the state crew.
right.
The state's worried about the forecast too, so.
and it's going to be a heavy travel day too. People shouldn't be traveling, but you know.
We're trying to uncover all the drains. I'll be surprised if they all get uncovered, but the main ones will hopefully.
I still don't know why we can't dump it in the river.
Apparently they have been.
Really? I don't say nothing.
The report that I
Somebody-
had today.
State's been, can do it.
I've heard it was illegal.
That's, I figured the DEC would have a problem with that.
It
Probably
is
because-
illegal.
Probably
but
because it's salt.
apparently,
The salt and
at
the
least
snow.
today it was not illegal.
It was look the other way day.
I guess so. We're not doing it, but somebody was.
So long as the state's doing it, we're not doing it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't actually see it, but I had a couple of reports that they were dumping straight into the river.
Oh, we still have water.
Hey, Jeff,
Well,
I definitely do have a question, Jeff.
Yeah.
I ran
What's that,
into
Ron?
Judge Bowen today. Judge Bowen asked me if there was any way about putting a roof over those steps. I just told him that I would bring it up. The ones in the front of the police station.
Not this week.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, there's nothing else going on.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah,
I
he
haven't
told me
got
that
a
it was brought
recent-
up before.
I haven't got a recent cost estimate on that, but I will, because like I was telling the mayor earlier today, all the snow slid off the roof and buried the front steps. So that's the first thing we got to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I
So-
saw it today when I saw him there. It was at the courthouse. And he asked, so I told him I'd bring it up at the meeting.
Yeah, let's get Dave Thompson over there.
Yeah, he'll be one of them.
We're gonna,
But we can get some cost estimates for that.
have to see how this
That'd
whole
be great.
thing turns out too. Because we don't know who's billing who yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna have to pay the bill for the contractors or what the deal is.
Yeah, nobody's really said, honestly.
All right. So, I mean, if we have to pay them, it's gonna be it'll probably drain my budget.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah,
street work.
we went through emergency management and they keep saying, well, we hope there's a federal disaster declaration, as then FEMA will pay.
And if they pull out, if the crews that emergency management got pull out, I'm gonna have to rent trucks to finish the job, just so everybody's aware.
We already
That's it.
rented, what, one loader?
Right, I rented one loader, it's $5,000 a month. Prorated, if I don't use it for a month, it won't be that much, but. Trucks, I'm not sure what trucks will cost me, but it's at prevailing wage, so it's probably anywhere from $40 to $65 an hour.
I'm sure.
So with that happy
Hey, Jeff,
news,
how's the roof holding up?
just before the storm, I had the company that originally put the roof on, the new roof on, go up, and he found some problems with the flashing that he fixed. So hopefully we don't have to worry about it till the snow gets melted off of there. But I'm not sure it's fixed or not. He says he fixed it, but I've heard that before.
Will that roof support this snow if we don't get it off there with rain
Yeah,
coming?
should.
I'm on the lower floor. I don't care.
It's all coming your way.
No, Tracy?
No, Tracy,
Said
no.
that much snow on it before. 93.
That was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that roof, does have, I was up there and looked at it with Delta a while ago, and it has steel I-beams supporting it, so
Right.
it's a pretty beefy building as far as the construction.
Hey, Ron, you
Other
got
than that-
anything from Tracy?
No, he said he wasn't going to be on tonight because we weren't really going to discuss the BCA agreement. He was having cellular issues getting attached or connected.
Yeah, he has trouble with connection to his house. You have anything else, Jeff? You good?
No, and if nobody has anything for me, I'm gonna sign off.
I don't have anything. I'm looking through the agenda. I don't see anything
All
more
right,
for you.
and I'll email out everybody my report
All
tomorrow.
right.
All right.
Right.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right.
Get some rest.
Take care.
You too. Yeah, you got anything from the chief? Rusty?
So we got the fire chief doesn't have anything
So,
particular.
the fire chief's big message is to kind of pass the message that if we can, shovel fire hydrants. That's kind of a big deal with this much snow. So,
Yeah, because we ain't gonna work anyway. What's that? Oh, here we go. So, nothing from the chief other than that, shoveling the hydrants. The police chief has one request. We generally start our retired officers at $25 an hour, fair enough. One of our, oh, by the way, in that police department, everybody's doing a great essential job there. The chief is doing a great job. Uda's doing a great job. We had Rudy driving the plow truck the other day. The officers are sleeping at the station, coming in from Watkins Glen.
yeah.
Just everybody. And one of the backbones of that department is the part-time, retired, et cetera, officers. Well, so anyways, that all being said, one of our officers, Mike Montero, who's also the police chief in Spencer, has been with us for 15 years. We've never paid him the going rate that we pay every other experienced guy. I think can I say how much we're paying him? Is that?
Yeah.
We're paying him $22.50 an hour, and he's been getting it for 15 years. So the chief would like to put him at the $25 an hour we pay all the other multi-years experienced part-time guys. That being said, I'd like to make a motion that we raise Mr. Montero's salary from $22.50 an hour to $25 an hour.
I'll second that.
I'll write that down because Rodney's on the phone. All right, we have any discussion on that?
When's that effective?
Next paper.
Next pay period would have started today.
Right.
Today would be the start of it. He'd get paid 2 weeks from now. So starting
Effective today.
effective today for this coming up pay period. I missed it.
He's got your.
Did we make a motion?
Yep. Yep. Rusty made the motion. Ron? Ron, you seconded that, right? Yeah. Yep. All right. Any more discussion on that one? All right, we'll vote. Charles?
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
and yes.
Everybody
said yes.
No, no, Mike. I just saw. No.
No, Alec. No, that's a cat.
Okay. Get home. That's everything for today from the chief.
Okay. Yeah, those guys are doing great. I know, some of them slept there and
Pike slept there with his dog.
him and Maggie. Things got crazy, so that's a good thing. All right. Next thing is Central Fire Station Bell / Steamer House. I don't know if we have anything official on this. I was hoping Pat or Abby was on. Nate, have you heard anything on this?
I know Pat sent an email a week or so ago kind of outlining that they went and got some quotes for refurbishment of the bell, and that would include, they're proposing installation of it at the steamer house and a new striking mechanism. Sounds like the hose company is willing to donate all that money kind of on the condition that the village agree to place it in the steamer house.
And we get it out of the firehouse.
Right.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
So I want to jump in here for a minute. So the host team is proposing to pay for shipping it up to the manufacturer who's going to refurbish it, the refurbishing of it, bringing it back, installing it in the steamer house, paying for a striker mechanism. The only thing that they would like the village to take care of is removing it from the station, which we kind of need to do anyways because of the deterioration up there. So they're looking for an agreement for those conditions. And of course, they're looking for an agreement for us to lend them the bell for 25 years, just as they're borrowing the equipment, the steamer equipment in the steamer house from the fire station, from the fire department for 25 years. They want to borrow that bell from us for 25 years.
And the estimates to get that bell out of the station is somewhere between like $2,500 and $5,000. We got quotes, which is a lot less than I thought it would be.
Mike, I think that $2,500 though, that didn't include the crane rental.
Right, which was like another $2,000 or something.
Yeah, so it looks like 2 quotes included a crane rental, 1 quote did not. It looks like a quote that included the crane rental was the lowest, or one of the quotes that included the crane rental was lowest, set $4,700.
Yeah, was still a lot lower than I figured it would be.
Yeah, I thought that'd be at least 10 to 15.
Once again, of course, we, the owners of that station and that bell need to do something so that bell doesn't come crashing down. So it behooves us to take that bell out of there one way or the other. So possibly, if depending on how the board feels, if we're moving along on this thing. If we, once again, feel like we want to enter into this with the host team, we should probably get Nate working on some language and an agreement. Yes, no?
I'm assuming that we won't be able to move on this till the spring anyway.
Probably physically getting the bell down, you're probably right.
I mean, I'd like to get it out sooner, but I don't see it feasibly happening.
The host team had kind of wanted to try and get that bell out of here this year, but now the weather, even if winter was coming, they would like to have gotten out of here. I doubt very much now that can happen.
Maybe depending on the forecast, but if it warms up again, but who knows.
So we're going to need to decide whether we want to enter into this stuff, and I say, working on agreement and language.
Do we have any idea where we're going to pull this 5,000 from to pull it out?
I think Jeff said he could cover it. That was before the snowstorm, but.
I mean, I'm sure we'll make it work somehow, but just we got to start looking at nickel and dimes.
So I'm with you on the money, and of course the other side of that coin too is with Jeff and the various engineers and contractors. How much jeopardy are we in with that bell up there with it being rotting and stuff? Do we? So it's not just whether we can afford to get out of there, do we have to get it out of there? And I don't mean today.
Yeah,
So
it just,
we gotta put all those pieces together.
can it be included with the DRI stuff? Because it's like, structurally making the building.
Potentially, we could
Yeah.
submit it and get reimbursed, yeah.
I would expect we would try.
Yeah.
I mean, that DRI is vague. It's just to keep that fire station alive, and that's one of the reasons, that's one of the things we're gonna be trying to do. So we certainly would, once again, if we decide to go along this path, we certainly will try to get the DRI to cover that.
I believe it was included in the proposal, not like where it would go after that, just that it was like one of the things that was needed for the station.
Right, to stabilize that tower and bell.
Yeah.
That was in the DRI thing.
That would pay for it.
I think,
It would, yeah.
Eventually.
I think if you're planning to use the DRI monies, just remember that I'm sure the state is going to be very strict about the procurement requirements for anything. And so I would want to check to see, I mean, typically they say, oh, follow your own procurement policy, but then they also like you to publicly post for bids. Is the thing that makes the state feel most comfortable instead of just going out to get quotes. And so since quotes that were gathered from the hose company, I think we want Rod's office to be the folks, or Jeff to be the ones to formally go out to properly document any quotes relevant to this and make sure that we've got all the paperwork that we need prior to hiring somebody.
Sure. And also along the same lines, just if we find somebody or some 2 or 3 people to get it out of there at a good price, blah, 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 $3 or $4 grand, and the DRI requires 30% WM, then requires all the other kinds of things, we may not want to do it under DRI. It might be just easier or cheaper to not.
Right.
We'll have to figure that all out too.
Yeah, that's something to look at.
Well, and Rusty, I mean, to that point, actually, the simple removal of the bell might actually be a good place to hire an MWB company. We have to find 30% monies for MWBE contractors.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe that's one to try, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good place to start looking.
So do we, without necessarily approving everything, because we don't have documents, we don't have this or that, do we want to move along on this line, folks?
Seems
Yeah,
like
I
the
think it
best.
makes the most sense to put it in the belt or the steamer house. I don't know where else we would store it or even display it. I
Yeah.
can't see it going back in that tower.
And of course, as usual, this hose company is this hose team is going to raise $20,000, $30,000 to do this. We don't have $20,000, $30,000 to be refurbishing a bell and putting a striker in and doing this and that. So that's a good thing in that way.
So I'll put together an amendment to the steamer house agreement, since this is all tied to that anyway, and work on that with Pat, Gavin, and then we'll have something for the board to approve either at the next meeting, one of the January meetings.
One of the later after the fabulous birth meetings.
Yes.
Everything going okay there?
Oh yeah. She couldn't be more pregnant.
So that's our general feel without particular taking a vote or anything. We're gonna have Nate move along on amending that thing, and we'll look it over and make our decision.
And we'll have Nate look into the DRI requirements to see if we're gonna get reimbursed for this, what do we have to do? As far as hiring a company to do it.
And we're gonna have Nate shovel the walk out front of the
Out front of the police station, yeah.
police station, and we're gonna have Nate. I'm done.
Don't worry, we're paying them to do it all.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing is a reminder for me, Julie Nucci came to us. She wants to be the floodplain remediation coordinator. She wants to try and work to get the village into the CRS system, which will help save everybody money on their flood insurance. We've tried this a couple of times. Kevin tried it last time, and it's a hard system to get into, but she thinks that she can help us do it, so. So, anyway, I appoint Julie Nucci as floodplain remediation coordinator. And I think we have to take a vote on that. Right, Nate?
It's not an official position.
Yeah, it's not a position.
It's not a paid position.
Yeah, it's not anything that's contemplated by your current local laws. So, by appointing her, you're kind of making it into a kind of a de facto thing. Is this something that the program requires, that there be appointed someone to act as this on behalf of the village?
Yeah, Kevin recommended it just so that she would have,
So she can do it.
so she'd be able to act on behalf of the village with them,
Yeah, she stopped by my store the other day and we talked about it, and the title would be more effective for her when she contacts people from the state
Right.
and FEMA, stating that it's a Village of Owego that we have recommended her in this position. It'd be a lot easier than just Julie Nucci sending email to FEMA or whomever.
So as usual, why don't we vote to do that, just in case that has some more authority and power?
I mean,
Need a second. Move to do it. Did somebody move to appoint Julie Nucci? Did somebody already? Mayor made the motion.
yeah.
You second it. Second it.
I'll second it.
Yeah, that too.
We got a couple of those.
Whatever we do.
I got rest. Any discussion on Julie? Great, she's volunteering to do it for us. It's a lot of work. A lot of paperwork.
If anybody hasn't talked to her, she's very knowledgeable and actually really fun to talk to and really get you engaged in the conversation.
Yeah, and Kevin's helping her join the right associations and stuff because they give free classes, so she's been doing that kind of stuff too. Let's vote on that. Charles?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Rusty?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Fran?
Yes.
And yes. All right. Next one is resolution to adopt new New York State retention schedule. Well, this is a Nate thing, right? We have to keep records for.
Well, it's not a state thing, technically. So the state publishes a comprehensive manual telling everybody how long they have to keep stuff, and they've changed it. So now you're required to adopt a new one. I can't tell you off the top of my head what the time periods are, because this thing's like hundreds of pages long, and it covers literally everything that you could possibly have. So you're required to adopt this stuff.
Okay.
Who makes the motions?
So Nate sent us the resolution. All we need is a resolution to pass it as presented.
Want to read it or not?
We kind of go on that.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adopt the new New York State records retention schedule as presented.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on the records retention schedule? It's fun stuff, I know. All right, Charles,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
and yes. All right, next thing is treasurer's report. I went through and did my thing. Everybody's looking pretty decent. So the EMS is running pretty close.
Excellent.
Which is good. That's a good thing.
Mr. Mayor, as
Hey,
usual-
Mike.
Yeah.
If you'll notice on there was a $6,000 takeout from the EMS that was supposed to have been taken out last year. It was a mistake by the village, which happens. Just so that people don't think that was this year. It was something that happened last year and just got was mixed up as being $600 instead of $6,000 that was paid. So that's why it came out of this year.
Okay.
That was from Maintenance.
That passed. All right.
Mr. Mayor, you having looked the report over and are good with it, I move that we accept the report.
Okay.
Pay that, is that paying the bills?
No, that's just accept the report.
Just shows you what to do. Who said that?
Nobody yet.
I'll second that.
Whoop.
Sorry, Laura.
Ron and Laura at the same time. We're
just trying to move.
All right, any discussion on the treasurer's report? All right, so we'll vote to accept that. Charles,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Fran,
Yes.
and yes. All right, next thing is minutes of 12/7/2020.
Defer to Laura.
I looked them over, but I missed that
Oh, you
meeting.
were at the meeting.
All right.
Yeah, I looked them over. It looks good, guys.
Thanks for looking up. Thanks for looking at them.
I move that we accept the minutes for 12/7/2020.
There we go.
I second that.
There we go. All right. Anybody have any comments on them? Looks okay to me. All right, we'll vote on those. Charles,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Rusty,
Yes.
Laura,
I guess I'll abstain.
Fran,
Yes.
and yes. All right, next thing is communications. We got a couple of things. First thing, well, we'll do the bad news first. We got a letter or a little card. Let me hold it up here. Card from Bob Bassett about some people trimming trees on Lake Street. He's not real happy about that. I don't know, we'll get that on to Jeff. I don't know who trimmed trees. I don't think it was us.
Local business owners, you think, Trevor?
That's what it sounds like.
That's what I was led to believe it was.
And then the next thing we got is a Christmas card to the board from Chris Knickerbocker. So thank you for all you do on our behalf. Looking forward to a brighter year.
Thank you, Chris. We watch this later.
Other than that,
Who got the gift card?
no gift cards yet. Not yet, anyway. Been a lot of communications back and forth with the state and emergency management over this storm. But been blowing my phone up. Jeff's phone. That's been about it, really. Next thing is trustee reports. Charles?
Okay, well, we already talked about the fire station and the Bell situation. I think that's what we were trying to figure out last meeting, what was going on with that. He was looking for the same company that actually did work on the fire station before because they're familiar with the structure and everything. That situation in Marvin Park where the water bill was so high, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jeff turned off the meter. Evidently, the meter was left running, so the water was still being counted, I guess. So he turned the meter off, and now it seemed to be fixed the situation that was going on. Also, we're looking for an assistant for Scott, the code enforcer. I don't know how many candidates at this date we have that we're looking at, but one of them that are interested is the owner of the Tiger movie theater. You know?
Oh, yeah.
He was interested before.
He was interested before
Right.
Scott. Too.
Right. So he's still interested.
Okay.
A lot of credentials go behind that seating position. As I was saying before, DPW was out doing a great job plowing. I had gotten a chance to shake hands with some of them I ran across during their doing their duty. It's not easy. It's not easy. Our block was pretty cool because most of the residents came out to greet them and say thank you. That was like, what, day 2.5?
Yeah, something like that.
I was really hoping the plaza didn't hit us first because I didn't want to look like we were getting preferential treatment there, you know. So, I mean, they were kind of looking at me like, hey, what are you going to do? Where's your plow guys? But they seen after they showed up what the operation entailed. And I guess some of them couldn't get to work because they got stuck. There was people getting stuck all over the place, you know. And it's good that some of our local businesses have looked out with food for our DPW workers. That possible rain coming. I hope it's not as bad as they say, but that's what I said about this snowstorm. With the lots of rain coming, the heating up of the weather, all that snow that's on our roof will be sliding off. I just want everybody, all of our residents, to be aware that don't want anybody to get hurt. The message got out about checking the vents. I fell victim to that because my water heater went out. And I said, this is a bad time. So I was able to get that started back up. And thanks, Mike. I heard you made an appearance at the house with your snowblower.
I did,
But
yeah.
My brother-in-law was already there. They were making a killing that day. I don't know. They just bought a snowblower and everybody was stopping them as they came down the block to come help them move their snow. We got some good neighbors. I mean, for the most part, everybody helped one another. I know I made a post, had posted a meme on Facebook that kind of suggested that our youth aren't like the youth of back in the days. And I guess there was a lot of youth out there doing due diligence, you know, helping. So I deleted that post. I felt really bad. Although it was true to the extent. I mean, my kid was up in his room playing video game. He wasn't going out there. He wasn't dealing with that. But I just want to thank all the neighbors that helped out each other. This is a good time to see our village shine when disasters like this happen. That's all I had to say about that. That's what I had.
Cool.
Next.
An interesting week, yeah. Ron?
I just have the one thing. Julie did mention that she's going to have to get a hold of Jeff to talk about some infractions that we had. And she said she's been having trouble getting through. I just really hope that will be cleared up now that she has an unofficial official position.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was she was trying to call Jeff when he was having a bunch of doctor's appointments, so he just.
I just told her that I would bring it up.
The questions they had the last time. They want elevation from that. Okay. Anything else, Ron?
No, that's all I've got.
Okay. Rusty, no report. Laura?
So I've got a meeting that I'll attend, and they're asking Jeff to attend too for, with Julie and the CRS stuff. So it's got, it'll be right in the new year. There's like 3 dates where they're looking around at. Wendy Walsh, I think she's from like Soil and Water, right? Or something like that. Elaine from the county, somebody from the town. So it's all about that CRS stuff.
Okay.
So she's working at it. And yeah, so I'll be attending that virtually. And then OHPC met way on the 9th or something?
Yeah. I think it was a Wednesday night because I forgot to turn on the meeting for him.
It got rescheduled, yeah. So anyways, that's it for me.
Yeah, and their meeting, they didn't take any actions. They were, it was just there was no applications, I'll say, this time. Fran?
Well, particular reports right now. I mean, the cemetery committee is working on the rules for the cemetery, and that's gonna take us a few months here during the winter to get that done. Otherwise, we can't do too much up there in the winter time. So,
Right.
let's see. Yeah, that's it for now. Oh, I know, Mayor. I was gonna ask you. There was supposed to be a meeting the end of November on that joint health insurance. Did you get to that meeting?
Joint health insurance.
We had to appoint two people.
The Ed was gonna go to.
Right.
Representatives in the health thing.
We're moving forward on that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I haven't seen any meetings for it, but we're moving forward on it, though.
And you put it Ed and somebody.
And me.
And our representatives on that.
Yeah, you and Ed were supposed to go to a meeting.
I never saw anything about a meeting, but I don't know.
Yeah, was there a meeting, or was that they were just the representatives to?
Yeah, for when they had a meeting. I know Cindy's been working on doing all the paperwork to get us switched over to that. So she's been
Good.
dealing with.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, that's not here. So, mayor's report is next. I don't have anything great. Obviously, been fielding a lot of calls from everybody. And I organized with emergency management and Jeff to get the state crew in here, both state crews. So that was a good collaboration with the county and Marty, and we ended up at Fred Ackshire and above. So, but at least we're getting help. Other than that, just fielding a ton of calls from everybody. Not even in the village, most of them.
And you even had time to be on TV again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk about that. Oh yeah, we did an interview and they, up the 20 seconds that they wanted out to make their story.
Oh, okay.
But whatever. I know I personally have been to Endicott, and we don't look so bad. Let's put it that way.
We're getting the snow. We're getting the snow on it.
Yeah, we're on par probably. All right. Public comment is next, but
One thing before we do that.
yeah, there's no public anyway.
No public anyway. So since this is a kind of a chattery meeting, I get a great chuckle out of a couple of weeks back on CBS National News. We have a story of a WeGo, New York, and our police department and our dog. And 2 nights ago on CBS National News all over the country, a trooper rescues a man plowed in his car in the snow in Owego, New York.
That's right.
This is getting to be quite the famous little national place.
Oh, I almost forgot. Speaking of the police,
No, thank you.
speaking of the police
Hey,
stuff,
Nate.
the police reform survey that we put out is back. I have the results of it. I'll send it out to everybody so you can see it. moving forward on that. Good. Bunch of people took it, over 100 and some responses, I think. 140, 150, something like that. That was a good thing. Yeah. All right, does anybody else have anything else before we close it out?
Yeah,
Just wanna
Nate, I
say-
wanted to thank you. Nate has been working with our medical director and ourselves. We've had a resident that's been misusing our services beyond and above. And I wanted to thank Nate for talking with our medical director and trying to help us come up with a solution.
Yeah, that was an interesting call that I had with him, and I hope it sounds like it fruitful, or at least maybe something positive is coming out of it.
Eventually, this has been, I mean, I've been putting my hair out, and I was glad it involved you, and I thank you for your participation in trying to rectify that.
Yep, absolutely.
I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a safe one.
Yeah.
Don't forget to practice the COVID protocols.
And a Happy New Year.
There you go.
Yes, very much. Merry Christmas, and let's all hope that Thursday or Wednesday doesn't bring what they say it's going to. Otherwise, it might be quite interesting Christmas.
The next thing will be the day after, when it gets to 25 degrees and it freezes.
Yeah, they're talking about rain,
Bring out the
significant amount of
kayaks,
rain,
right?
and then freezing. So could get interesting.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Yeah. Goodbye to everybody's cats.
Good night,
Have a good
everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
All right, guys.
Good night.